Welcome back everyone and thank you for joining me here on View. Today I want to take you on a journey into the past, to a time when the automobile was more than just transportation, it was a statement of style, craftsmanship, and innovation. The car we're exploring today is the 1960 Mercedes-Benz 220SE, a machine that perfectly captures the golden age of Mercedes engineering and design. This is not just a car, it is a piece of rolling history that has earned its place as one of the most elegant and advanced vehicles of its era. The Mercedes-Benz 220SE was part of the W111 series, which first appeared in the late 1950s and quickly became a symbol of sophistication. Mercedes had already built a reputation for producing reliable and luxurious cars, but the 220SE took things to a new level. It was one of the first Mercedes models to feature fuel injection, a system that was far ahead of its time. While many manufacturers were still relying on carburetors, Mercedes pushed forward with Bosch mechanical fuel injection. This not only gave the car better throttle response and smoother performance but also improved fuel economy, a detail that made it stand out from many of its contemporaries. Visually, the 220SE carried a presence that was both refined and dignified. At the front, the large upright grille was instantly recognizable, crowned with the three-pointed star that had already become an international symbol of quality and prestige. The bodywork was smooth and graceful, with lines that flowed naturally without being too flashy. Compared to American cars of the same era, which often embraced exaggerated fins and chrome excess, the Mercedes approach was restrained, understated, and timeless. The car did carry small tail fins, but they were integrated with elegance rather than extravagance, showing that Mercedes understood how to balance modern trends with classical design. Inside the cabin, the 220SE embodied luxury in the most traditional sense. The interior was filled with rich materials that reminded the driver and passengers that this was no ordinary vehicle. Polished wood stretched across the dashboard and door panels, adding warmth and character to the space. The seats were upholstered in premium leather and designed for comfort on long journeys, while the cabin itself felt spacious thanks to large windows that gave excellent visibility. Instrumentation was clear and functional, with chrome detailing and a steering wheel that had that signature Mercedes character. Everything was laid out with precision, reminding you that Mercedes engineering was not just about performance but also about how a driver interacts with the machine. Under the hood sat a 2.2-liter inline-six engine that delivered around 115 horsepower. On paper that might not sound like much today, but in 1960 this was a strong figure, especially when combined with the smoothness and refinement of Mercedes engineering. The car was not built for racing or high-speed thrills but for steady, comfortable motoring. It could cruise effortlessly at autobahn speeds, with the fuel injection system ensuring that power delivery was consistent and reliable. Paired with either a 4-speed manual gearbox or an optional automatic transmission, the 220SE offered flexibility depending on the driver's preference. The manual gave more control and engagement, while the automatic catered to buyers who valued convenience and ease. The driving experience was enhanced by the suspension system, which featured a double wishbone layout at the front and a swing axle at the rear. This setup provided a balance between comfort and stability, allowing the car to glide over bumps while still maintaining confidence in corners. Steering feedback was precise for the time, and while it required more effort compared to modern cars, it connected the driver to the road in a way that felt reassuring. Braking was handled by a combination of front discs and rear drums, which provided strong stopping power by the standards of the day. Overall, the car delivered a smooth, refined ride that reflected Mercedes' commitment to long-distance comfort. One of the most important innovations introduced in the W111 series, including the 220SE, was the concept of crumple zones. Developed by the visionary engineer Bela Barani, this idea revolutionized automotive safety. Instead of treating the body as a single rigid shell, Mercedes designed areas of the car to deform in a controlled manner during a collision, absorbing energy and protecting the occupants. This was groundbreaking in 1960 and marked Mercedes as a leader not just in luxury and engineering, but also in safety. Today, every car on the road uses the principle of crumple zones, but the 220SE was among the pioneers of this life-saving technology. The 220SE was not limited to just a sedan body style. Mercedes also offered it as a coupe and a convertible, which elevated its desirability even further. The coupe in particular, with its elegant pillarless design, remains one of the most beautiful classics of the era and is highly sought after by collectors. These variations showcased how versatile the 220SE was, appealing to buyers who wanted the practicality of a sedan as well as those who desired the exclusivity of a luxury coupe or open-top cruiser. In its own time, the 220SE was a car of prestige. It was chosen by diplomats, business leaders, and professionals who wanted a vehicle that reflected their success without being ostentatious. Driving one was not just about getting from point A to point B, it was about making a statement of taste and refinement. Mercedes-Benz had successfully created a car that combined understated style, cutting-edge technology, and a level of quality that set it apart from the competition. Today, more than 60 years later, the 1960 Mercedes-Benz 220SE remains a favorite among classic car enthusiasts. Its design has aged gracefully, its engineering still impresses, and its place in automotive history makes it highly collectible. Restored examples command strong prices at auctions, with coupes and convertibles often fetching the highest values. Beyond the money, though, what makes the 220SE special today is the experience it offers. Driving one feels like stepping back into an era when cars were built with craftsmanship, when every detail mattered, and when innovation was pursued with both courage and elegance. The 220SE is not about raw speed or aggressive styling, but about sophistication and subtle confidence. It carries itself with dignity, attracting admiration not by shouting for attention but by quietly demonstrating excellence. For anyone fortunate enough to experience one, it becomes clear why Mercedes-Benz built its reputation on cars like this. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 1960 Mercedes-Benz 220SE, a car that combined elegance, engineering, and safety in a way that few vehicles of its time could match. It is a car that continues to inspire respect and admiration, not only for what it was in 1960 but also for the influence it has had on the cars we drive today. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this journey into automotive history. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more classic car explorations, make sure to subscribe to my channel VeloView. Your support means everything, and I can't wait to share more stories like this with you in the future.